Welcome to You Can Be ABCs, a podcast where we learn about careers and have a little fun along the way. I'm Sam.
And I'm Bobby. Listen, Sam, we are actually excited to be here. We've had a lot going on, summertime and so many things and trips and whatnot. But hey, we are back at it and we're super, super happy. Sam, you got a little, what's at the end of the summer dance you got going on there? All right, watch out, y'all. It's the end of the summer dance and we're actually back at it. But Sam, we have a very special guest with us. As always, we're super happy. So Sam, introduction. Let me lean this microphone in your direction.
Okay. When she enters the room, the people stand. Maybe that's because of the hammer in her hand. No, it's not a hammer. It's a gavel that matches her black robe. I guess you figured out what she does as the story unfolds. She is a judge. She is wise and fair, guides the law with a steady stare. On this podcast, her journey will trace a career of justice, strength, and grace. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast, our friend and soon to be yours,
Judge Carlyn Addison. Woo! All right. Hey, Judge Addison.
Hey.
Good to have you. So great for you to join us. Thank you for being with us.
Oh my God, I wouldn't miss being able to see Sam. You know that. He's like one of my best friends.
Of course.
Of course.
Of course.
You know, he's one of my all-time favorites. I'm a fan. I'm a fan.
Well,
and
I must say, you are high on the list in the household. You know, there's Judge Mathis, Judge Joe Brown, Judge Judy, Judge Addison. That's wow. The judge that's our judge. There we go.
She gotta get fourth place.
Well, I didn't say fourth place. I'm saying she outranks those TV judges is what I'm saying. So now Judge Wapner, you better than Judge Wapner. That's a really good, the People's Court. You don't know anything about that. But anyway.
You're gonna make some enemies.
Yeah, well, listen, let's jump on in. We got questions here. Let's jump on in, Sam.
Okay. How'd you get interested in the legal profession?
I always liked to read and write, and that was what really drove me to the profession. Reading, writing, and then being able to articulate those thoughts. I thought that it was the best profession for me to go into. So you would always find me with a book somewhere in a corner. And once I finished that book, I wanted to write about it. I wanted to talk about it. I wanted to do spelling bees. I wanted to do all of these things that required me to understand language and push it back out. So once I realized that, hey, I might make a good lawyer. I like to read and write. I got into the field.
That's super cool. Let me ask a question before Sam goes on. Could you share like your back in terms of schools? What school did you attend? Like undergrad and law school? Law school.
Well, I'm glad you asked. I am a graduate of Xavier University of New Orleans, where next year I received my bachelor's in English with a minor in theology. And once I completed that, I went to Southern University of Los Angeles.
Shout out, ladies and gentlemen, let me just shout out the historically Black colleges and universities. I just want to, Morehouse is my alma mater, but Xavier and then Southern College of Law, wonderful schools. Your cousin, my niece Peyton finished up at Xavier. They have a wonderful pharmacy school there. So she's Dr. Peyton Beasley. So listen, that is amazing. I just love hearing that. Wonderful. Shout out to HBCU.
I said my kids here.
Is that right?
I'm the proud mother of a Xavier freshman. Yes, sir.
Oh,
I get to be a Xavier man.
Beautiful, beautiful. Love it, love it, love it. All right. Come on, Sam.
Okay. So one other question before I go on. When you were like reading and writing and doing all of those things, what made you decide lawyer over more careers that involved like literature and things like that?
It just fit. Everything fell into place. I knew that I excelled at English and literature and all of those things. The more time I spent with reading and writing and comprehension, I could do this in law school. I'd be really good at it. It just fit. Everything fell into place. It's like, some divine ordering. Go do this, and this is how it's going to end up for you. And it worked perfectly.
by the way, right here on the side, we got about, it's like up until we started he was reading through books up until we actually turned the camera on to record this
I
podcast.
love
So
that. I
I think
loved
he's
it.
axing that from that place of how he loves to read and the fact that, you know,
Yeah.
the law and the connection between reading, because those are things he loves to do. Am I saying that correctly?
Books, 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 books. Now, just saying, if it's a book like Harry Potter isn't like my favorite. Now, if it's a bad book, I just don't like it.
You won't finish it?
Not at all. I'll read
Hey.
the first page, second page, skip ahead, read a random sentence. If it's not good, close the book, toss it aside.
Really?
Yeah, what books are you into now, Sam? Tell Judge Addison.
I'm curious.
What kind of books are you in now? I want to hear this one from you.
Mystery novels.
Oh, that's how it begins. That's how it begins. When you exactly, you're like, and that is going to turn into something much more, I can assure you. You're gonna wanna know how this ends, how did it begin, and you're gonna wanna fill in the blanks, and then you'll be a lawyer.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah. You hear that, Sam? All right. I love it. I love it.
that's
All right.
start.
Next question. Were there role models in your profession? And if not, who inspired you?
There are plenty of people who I have had the absolute pleasure and luxury of working alongside, in front of, when I was a wee baby lawyer. The Honorable Judge John T. Folks Jr. was quite impressionable in my career at its infancy, and then I moved on. Judge Larry Potter, the father of environmental court, who gave me my first job on the bench, and obviously Judge Dan Michael, who brought me over to court as a magistrate. I had a lot of really great people to watch, not just judges, but the private sector. Um, I've been very, very lucky to learn from so many people who've been willing to share and teach me. Private attorneys. First law clerk situation was Sam Perkins. One son. Right, so I've been
Sam Perkins, a legend.
a legend. Sam
Who's Sam Perkins?
You know?
So let me. He asked who is Sam Perkins. So Sam Perkins was a lawyer here in Memphis who, honestly, if you talk to a lot of people in the legal profession, that they will have some Sam Perkins story or reference. I'm not a lawyer. He was in my leadership Memphis class back in 2007, I believe. Real good man. I don't mean to step on any of your comments, but again, in terms of Sam Perkins, just a good. And I'm not a lawyer, but again, just so much respect for him.
Right. You get in this business and you start to pay attention to the people who are really doing the work, who are honoring the profession and maintaining the ethical professional standards that is required of lawyers. You are laser focused on them and you learn from them. Not all bad habits, absolutely good, exceptional habits. And Sam Perkins was like one of the first for sure.
I tend to believe, and I'll say this too, because Judge, I want to shout out Judge Folks as well, who's great. He used to be the CAO over Shelby County government, and then Larry Potter is another one. Yeah, so you've mentioned some great folks just in terms of your how you've been shaped and inspired. But yeah, I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but those are really real impressive. I'm one of those folks who I love to hear the stories of who, like when you hear people's origin stories. You know, we talk about origin stories sometimes. Like, yeah, what's that story? Who's the influence and whatnot? So yeah, those are great names. Wonderful.
None of us has survived, I think, in any business without depending upon those who came before us, right? I didn't just show up one day and do this on my own. I had a lot of people, my mother-in-law, may she rest in peace, Representative Lois DeBerry. That's why I wear pearls every day. Don't embarrass me when you leave the house. She was very clear. Her son, my husband, my campaign manager, everybody had a piece. Everybody poured into me in some sort of way, and I just took advantage of what they were willing to share.
Okay, this is my last one because you keep naming these people. Let me tell you, Speaker Pro Tem Lois DeBerry. I'll tell you this story. You may not know, but it was back in 2000, and I had taken a leave of absence from congressional office, and at the time I was running the Democratic office for it was basically the Democratic ticket, and Gore and Lieberman were at the top of the ticket, the president, and we had somebody for Senate who we know wasn't going to win. But
Sorry to interrupt.
How
old were you when you were working in Congress?
I was in my 20s. Listen, he's about to do a math problem. So what ends up happening is that every day at the headquarters, who was I working with? I had Harold Ford Sr. on my right and Lois DeBerry on my left. I remember Lois DeBerry seeing me navigate some things, and she telling me, "Bobby, you saved for real."
Wow, I can hear her say that. That's so crazy.
Yeah, that was my friend. I love me some Lois DeBerry. And to this day, when we're in Nashville, the lieutenant governor, Randy McNally, he makes a point of, if we have meetings with him or something along the line, he will mention her name 9 times out of 10. He will honor her memory and her legacy and how great she was to work with. And he often makes a reference with another friend of ours, I'm sure, Senator Ramesh Agberry, just in terms of somebody who's easy to work with and works across the aisle and doesn't demonize the other side, even though they disagree on things, of course. But that Lois, woo-wee. Okay, I'm done making these historical references.
I mean, just imagine I came up in that, like, I married her only child.
Yeah, right.
There was some rules.
Yeah, rules, right?
But she really was she was an amazing part of our lives until, she ultimately went home to glory back in 2013. And she just really gave us so much of a foundation. It's me, especially, I'm just a bright-eyed country girl from Alabama who met this guy. And I'm like, I don't know your mom, who, what? But she was so incredibly good to me. I learned a lot from her, and we miss her dearly.
Why are you up here doing this math problem? Why don't you get the next question to Judge?
Carry the one, baby. Do y'all still do that?
No, that's wrong.
1979?
No, that's wrong too. Go to the next question. That's wrong.
So when you have your gavel, do you ever just get another gavel and just start drumming?
I can assure you, if I start doing that, they're gonna come in and put me in some sort of tight coat, and they're gonna be like,
"No, I mean just in secret, just duck down, and then just start drumming, doing.
Believe it or not, I rarely use my gavel.
Oh wow!
Rarely use it. Court come to order, all rise. I don't touch it. We adjourn. I don't touch it. It sits there and it's dusty.
So let me ask you this. So just so I can get a what court are you? Just to give everybody a reference of the type of cases that you hear. Could you talk a little bit about the type of cases that you hear and the name of the court?
Okay, I am your duly elected judge of Criminal Court Division 5 here in Shelby County, Memphis, Tennessee, the 30th Judicial District. My court specializes in intimate partner violence, also known as domestic violence. I hear anything from civil forfeitures, if someone's car is taken during arrest, misdemeanor harassment, all the way up to first-degree murder.
That's tough.
Anything in between.
My. That's really tough. Well, I tell you what, we do have a question that Sam wanted to ask in particular, but
No, I don't play drums. Okay.
Do you ever wear anything like jeans under your robe?
Every Friday.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
Every Friday, you will find me in some Converse and some jeans and a t-shirt.
I love it.
It's casual Friday. No one can see anyway.
I mean, if nobody could see, then I'd be wearing stuff like that all through the week.
No, I've tried to be a little professional, but casual Fridays, are usually my longest and hardest days, and I need to be a little more comfortable. And it's kind of something I started in juvenile court. Like, go in on Friday. I didn't have a docket on Friday, so I'm like, hey, casual Fridays. I'm wearing jeans.
Let's give it up for Casual Fridays.
No, I already thought about it.
And no, that is great. Well, I do want to again, we are making these connections like when you were younger, and this is a question, Sam, in terms of what do you see that in terms of it, we've talked about it just a little bit, but like your background, the reading and the love of reading, I'm wondering, are there other areas of not just law, but if you were not a lawyer, a judge, what is like that other career or the other thing that's passion of yours that you would be like, man, I would possibly be doing that, or I would love to do that for a career. Or here's the other part. You're a very young woman. At some point, you can leave one place and start a second career, which we're seeing a lot more of these days. I'm wondering, like, are there any thoughts you have about something else you might do that could be connected to what you do now or could not be connected to what you do now?
That was about 30 seconds long. I'm just going to summarize. Is there any other career that you would do if you weren't a judge?
Okay, so true story. I wanted to just write, and I wanted to sit in a room and not talk to people because I'm painfully shy. I know you don't believe that, but I wanted to just sit in a room and write contracts.
Mm.
That's it. I wanted to read contracts, write contracts, and sit in a dark room and nobody talk to me. That would have been my dream. It just didn't work out for me. I didn't think about doing anything other than that, writing and reading. And I'm not gonna say it
Right.
didn't work out for me. It worked out really well for me. But
Right.
that was my initial goal, was just to write contracts and
Oh,
read.
wow. Yeah, I can see that.
Didn't
I
work.
can see that in terms of personality types, cause it's so it was so interesting about it too, cause one of the things we've been talking about as relates to um young people getting connected to careers is personality types. It's like and based on personality types, what's possibly a good fit,
What's the best fit? Yeah.
what
I
fits
would
your
have done
personality?
well in a room alone. I know you don't believe that, but I would have done great. Fortunately, that's just not my life.
Understood.
But
Understood.
I enjoy it. I enjoy it. I'm having a good time. You have to be stretched sometimes, you know what I mean? And you have to step outside of your comfort zone, and then that way you learn the things that you're truly good at,
Yeah. That's right.
and you grow.
That's right. No, that is amazing. That's amazing. I love it. I love it. Well, Judge, we actually had this set where we would not go over a certain amount of time, being respectful of your time, but I will
You go all
absolutely
the
tell
way.
you this. I'm t- listen, here's the thing. When you're recording and you're doing stuff that kids listen to,
Oh,
it's like
say less.
yeah, our thing is we hit it up in these ways. Now, our thing is that we're going to be looking to engage you in a different way
Okay.
outside of this. But in terms of the podcast, I think honestly, you've hit quite a few things for us. I love the idea of you talking about that it's interesting how reading just a straight line into the legal profession, but at the same time, just also recognizing there's so many other levels of law. And at some point, we're going to be talking to other folks who are in other places or other parts of the legal profession, like and even knowing the type of cases that you hear, that there are other cases in civil court and all these other places. But yeah, it's just a lot to learn. So we're
A lot
just
to learn.
scratching the surface here. But no, this is wonderful to hear from one of our favorite judges, ladies and gentlemen, once again. Judge, listen, we appreciate you so much. Thank you very much. And honestly, we look forward to seeing you very soon. We have a little something we're going to be dropping in the mail to say thank you, if not delivering it in person. And I'll just say this, Sam, you have anything else you wanted to add?
I love books.
Yeah, so I love books. But listen, We have enjoyed our time today with Judge Addison on this episode. Go ahead, Judge.
Speaking of mom, send her my best.
Yes, absolutely. We did not shout out the one and only Stephanie Narisa, who is the best, as Judge says, and she is the one who, quite frankly, is the teacher in the household and keeps us all in order, operates, and outside, right?
Right. She's
I have
amazing.
2 teachers for major subjects. I have the English teacher for my mother, and the math teacher as my father.
Yeah, I love,
He's got some work to do if you can't figure out his birthday.
I don't want him to figure it out. He doesn't have all of the necessary information.
Hey, math teacher.
How old are you right now?
Never mind. He does not have all the necessary information.
Raise your right hand. I'm going to put you under oath.
No, thank you. I don't mind. I'm just, putting it all out there on the podcast is not necessary.
I respect that.
Raise your right hand.
I'm not going to do it this time, but next time.
Well, listen, we have enjoyed this episode of You Can Be ABC's podcast where we learn about careers and have a little fun doing it. I'm Bobby.
And I'm Sam.
We'll see you next time. Thank you, Judge Addison. Thank you so much. We appreciate you.